Whisper. Once upon a time, in a quiet neighborhood, there lived a man named Richard. Richard was an unassuming fellow, a bit eccentric, with a car that he believed was no ordinary vehicle. He called it Whisper, and he was convinced it could talk to him. To those who knew Richard, his obsession with Whisper was a source of amusement. He spent countless hours conversing with the car, asking it about its day and discussing the latest news. He'd even claim that the car offered valuable advice and encouraged him to take the scenic route on drives. As time passed, Richard's relationship with Whisper grew stronger. He believed the car had a charming personality, often attributing human traits to it. His friends and family humored him, never quite understanding the extent of his attachment to the vehicle. One summer day, Richard embarked on a long road trip with Whisper. He believed it was the perfect opportunity to deepen their connection. He packed his bags, sat in the car, and began discussing their plans for the journey. In his mind, Whisper responded with excitement. As they traveled down the winding roads, Richard told Whisper about his childhood memories, his dreams, and his deepest fears. Whisper, in his mind, was an attentive and supportive companion. Richard laughed at its jokes and confided in it as if it were a trusted friend. The drive continued for hours, and the sun began to set. Richard felt an indescribable closeness to his talking car. He thanked Whisper for being there for him, and in his mind, the car responded with a heartfelt, "You're welcome." Finally, Richard pulled over at a scenic overlook. He gazed at the breathtaking vista before him, the colors of the setting sun reflecting on Whisper's windshield. In that moment, Richard felt a profound connection to his car. He believed it was reciprocating his emotions, speaking to his soul. But then, a cold breeze passed through the open windows of the car, and Richard realized something. He looked at Whisper, his eyes wide with shock. The car sat there, as silent as it had ever been, revealing its true nature. The realization washed over Richard, his connection to Whisper now understood in a different light. His friends had long been concerned about his mental health, but only now did the full extent of his condition become apparent. The conversations, the camaraderie, all of it was a creation of his mind. As he sat there in the car, the talking car he had believed to be his closest companion, Richard had an epiphany. Tears welled up in his eyes as he acknowledged that he was not well. He needed help. With this newfound understanding, Richard began his journey toward healing. He knew it would be a difficult road, but at least now he was prepared to face his demons and learn to distinguish reality from his vivid imagination. As he started Whisper's engine and drove back towards home, he no longer expected the car to speak to him. It was just a regular car, after all. But he had a greater sense of hope, knowing that there were real friends and professionals who could help him navigate the road to recovery.